Hi guys, and welcome to my showcase and tutorial for Notification Systems. Notification Systems is a plugin that allows you to send notifications to a player or players on your server, regardless of their offline status. It can be integrated directly into plugins like Skilltree by the developer, or can be triggered via a command, allowing for a high level of versatility. The notifications contain a title, a message, and an optional redemption button, allowing you to give players items, cash, points, or even have them trigger client-side commands as required. So to give an example of what the plugin actually looks like, you can see we've got a notification bell down the bottom left corner here. The color indicates that there is unread messages, and number 1 represents how many messages have appeared or been sent since the user last opened the list. So you can click on the list here and you can see we've got a few notifications. It is scrollable as well, so as more elements get added, this list gets hits a cap and then all the elements are scrollable. So if I click on here, I can see I've got I've reached level 10, I've been awarded 1 point, available points is 10. I can see another one here. As I click it, it removes the purple, which is indicating I haven't actually read that message yet. So I've reached level 27. I can delete it from the list as well. I can delete directly from the list here too. Or I can click and send another one here saying I've reached level 100, 200 points. And a couple of key things you'll notice is the icon is different depending on, I guess, I guess depending on the plugin that's sending it through. So you can specify different item IDs and skin IDs from a chat base or from a command, or if the developer wants to integrate this into their plugin, they can add basically whatever values they want. You can actually drag the messages around too and drop them, and that'll save basically the positioning for that. And there's a couple of examples of redemptions here as well. So we can see important announcement. I'd like to apologize for downtime experience. Yesterday afternoon, we've given you 1,000 scrap as compensation. I've currently got 11,154 scrap. If I click redeem, you can see I was given 1,000 scrap. That's a redemption. It can be used once and then that's it. Messages that have redemptions also can't be deleted until the redemption's been triggered. But here's an example of a client-side command. So all this particular one is going to do is it's going to redeem the prize by effectively typing /s prize for the player. So you can click redeem. You can see I was awarded the prize. So in terms of how you actually add notifications, like I said, you can do it directly in a plugin as a developer, or if you've got plugins that will fire off a command when certain criteria is met. So for example, if an event plugin has a winner, it can fire off a command for that person who won, or if it's for example, someone who leaves an event, you can have it fire off commands. A lot of my plugins will support that. But here's an example of what the command actually looks like. So we've got notification.add, also notifications.add. So I spell it right. You can see we've got a couple of parameters to play with. There's also another one called notifications.all, and this one here will send to all players. So .add is just to an individual target, specifying the player's Steam ID. Notifications.all is to pretty much everyone. So you can see if I was to do notification.all, and we'll just say 0, 0. So the first two parameters message represent the message icon ID, so which is the skin ID that you can put. You can also put the actual item ID that's being represented as well. So CUI elements allow you to specify, like for example, if I want to put a skull trophy on there as the icon, I can say we'll have that as a skull trophy, so it appears in the notifications feed. I can then add my message. So this is my message. So this is my title, and then we can add the message body. We're going to add basically a new line representation here as well, /n. And one of the key components is we're wrapping each of these square brackets in quotation marks, because we want it to, we want it to be able to print everything. So hit send, close that off, have a look at notifications. We can see this is my title. There's our little skull trophy here. And then we can see this is my title. This is my message. There are many like it. This is mine. No redemption button. Now, if I wanted to add a redemption button to that, what I would do is I'd go open square bracket there, open a circular bracket. We'll just say inventory. I think the command is inventory.give. We're going to do a placeholder called ID, so in curly braces. We'll just say scrap, and then we'll just say 1000. And this is a server command, so we're going to set it to true. Close the square bracket and hit enter. We can click on this now. We can see we've now got a redemption button. Clearly I didn't get the right command to give to. Try to give to. Yeah, it's give to, not give. There we go. So we do. There we are. Cool. So that's an example of how that will work. Yeah, and that's really the long and short of the plugin. So again, you can use this to send announcements for extended downtimes for your server. You can do this to reward players at a global level for just simply playing the server. You can have other plugins send notifications to players upon certain criteria being met. So I'll be adding support into all of my event plugins. Skilltree will obviously have its own support in there as well. And yeah, you can basically use it to basically notify your players of important things that are happening with your server. And regardless of whether they're online or not, they'll receive the notification, and the next time they log in, they can access it and read it. Yeah, cool. Alright, any other questions, support, feedback, let me know, but we'll jump over to the config now, and we'll go through what that looks like. Alright, so jumping into the configurations, a short and sweet one. So we can see here we've got the icon settings, which is basically the representation of the icons. So I've got the message icon ID, which is the default icon you can see here, the little Twitter bird thing. We've got that set as the assets TwitterBird1 PNG. So you can have this as a sprite or a URL. So if you want to have your own URL, the plugin will automatically download the image and cache it. You can also specify a skin ID if you prefer to use a workshop ID, like I've done with the Rust one. The HUD icons are this little one down here. By default, we're using the notification bell, which is a picture here. You can again set this to whatever you like. And same thing, you can use a skin ID if you prefer that rather than a URL. We can automatically delete messages after the specified number of days. So if you want to, if you don't want the data files getting too large, you can delete messages from players after a set number of days of them being in the inbox. We can automatically wipe the data on a server wipe. This is default set to true, so it'll automatically clear all notifications the player has. And we can have the mouse appear when the notification list is open. So when they click on this little thing here, by default they're still WASD, but if you set that to true, then it would actually have the mouse appear and they wouldn't be able to move until they close the notification system. So that's what that setting does. This is the option, the config for the sound to play when receiving a new notification. You can set that to null or an empty string if you don't want a notification sound. Same with the menu interaction sound. That's that little clicky here when I click on things. And then this is the redemption sound. This is the effect that plays when they click the redeem button. So yeah, nice and simple. You can really see some cool implementation ideas for this particular plugin. Love to see how you guys are using it. And if you have any questions, support, hit me up on Discord as always. But I hope you guys enjoy. Cheers.